Hi everyone, welcome to the first video of 2025 here on my channel. I don't know about you guys, but I am just feeling so rejuvenated and renewed and refreshed and realigned. All of these are words for the start of a new year. But let's dive into how 2024 ended in our homeschool. So let's have a little chat and get started. So this video is going to be a little bit of a homeschool update. We're going to talk about all of our curriculum that we've been using, some scheduling things, as well as what is to come next in the 2025 year, the second half of our homeschool year. But before I get too far into it, I do want to point out two videos that I have already made. One was the beginning of our homeschool year from July, that's when we started, through about mid-September. I did a little recap from the first part of our year. And I also made a video about like December schooling during Advent. So I'm going to reference those videos. I'll put them down below and also at the end. So I'm not going to cover any of the things that were covered in those videos. I don't want to do that. You can go and watch them if I don't mention something or vaguely mention something. But I don't want to rehash all that stuff. So one of the things that I talked about in my September recap video was that I wanted to try this idea of doing our group subjects on Mondays. And I had just done it once, and so I really didn't have anything to say about it. But we have been doing that through the remainder of fall into December and into now. We did just start back here in our homeschool after a very well-deserved 3-week winter break, and our December was also incredibly laid back as well. But one of the things that I did start doing about mid-September was group subjects only on Mondays. Now, that doesn't mean we didn't do group subjects the rest of the week, but on Mondays, instead of doing any individual subjects, we did only group subjects. So that's all of our catechism, Bible things, and our geography and our science. And the thing that I was sort of thinking about was, I know that a lot of people do this idea of Fun Friday, where they do the fun things, or they have a laid back Friday, which I get having a laid back Friday. But I kind of liked the idea of doing all the more fun things or the crafty things or all that stuff on a day. But for me, Friday doesn't make any sense. For me, Monday is the day that I'm feeling ready to go for the week. We do just a lot of, I don't want to say we do a lot of chores, but there's a lot of maintenance that we do weekly on Monday. I just feel energized on Monday. And for me, our individual subjects are not hard. My kids like doing them. They aren't teacher intensive. So I wanted a day where I could really focus on the subjects that take a little bit longer because there's more discussion. Sometimes there's a craft, there's coloring, there's this, there's that. And I really wanted to be able to just focus on those things, be all together for just one whole day. And that really has been working out. So I do think we will continue doing only group subjects on Monday just to start our week off right. And like I said, we do, in fact, do group subjects the rest of the week. It's just that we only do, maybe science one other day of the week, a little bit of Bible reading or our catechism. There's a few things that we rotate through. Geography, again, we're not gonna do, it's sometimes hard to do all of those on the same day or even alternating them too much, because we do want to, make time for our individual subjects, of course. So I don't know, something about doing them all really focused, and then that way if I don't get to another science later in the week, that's fine. I feel really good that I spent the time that I did on Monday doing it. I don't know if that makes any sense. But yeah, we've been enjoying the group subject dedicated Monday homeschool to our group subjects. That's been really nice. So my son has been doing Good and the Beautiful language arts level 1, we have math level 1, and handwriting level 1, and they're all going so well. We're where I want to be at, or slightly ahead. Math, we are very much ahead. At this point, mid-January, we are about to wrap up Unit 2, and there's only 3 units, so we will be finishing that early. And we finished math early last year, and one thing that I did last year that I'm not going to do this year is we ended math about at the end of February last year, and then I didn't do math the rest of the year with him. And first of all, it's his favorite subject. It's my favorite subject, actually. I really like math. I mean, it's first grade math, but I also like higher level math. So we finished early in February last year, and we didn't do anything math-wise for the rest of the year. And I just had this realization this year that I did not want to do that. Homeschool, one of the great things about homeschool is that you can cater to your kids' learning levels. And I think a lot of the times we think about slowing things down. Our kids aren't getting it, let's slow it down, let's break it up. But what happens when your kid is just like out of the gate getting it? And I had this realization that it works both ways. And so if he finishes early, and he will, I have no doubt that we will finish probably at the end of February again, we're going to start level 2. I just sort of had this realization, like, why not? We year round, we don't take a huge summer break. We took 8 weeks last year in between the school years, and I'm not going to do that again. It's going to be somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks. Because we take a lot of little breaks throughout the year. And yeah, I'm just going to start level 2 in March or whenever we finish. And my thinking with that is, well, you know what? One day it will be hard. One day it's going to catch up. One day it's going to be hard. If he's getting it, we're rolling with it. Why not? Why not start early? One day it's going to catch up to us. Certainly, I understand that. So yeah, why not? That's my thinking on that. So we will be finishing up, like I said, I really think it'll be around the end of February again. And we're just going to go ahead and start level 2 because we can do that because we're homeschooling and that's what we're going to do. So that's how things have been going with his individual subjects. Okay. So with my preschooler, we have been rocking and rolling with her as well. We did things differently with preschool with my son versus with my daughter. You know, she knows so much more because she is participating in all of the other things that we're doing. And so she's got that older sibling to be behind, right? Well, my son didn't have that. So I had to teach things from scratch, you know, with him. And we did, you know, there was no other distractions from other kids when he was little. So he learned his letters and numbers and all that stuff when he was like 3. He just picked up on it. And like I said, I didn't have anything else, no one else to take care of at the time. So with her, she's actually having to learn the letters and the numbers, but she knows like all these things about animals and the earth, like she can label all the continents. And so there's like so many other things that she can do, but like back to the basics, you know, I've had to actually teach her those things. Through the preschool course that we've been doing, we have been doing The Good and the Beautiful. We are on Unit 4, so we're about halfway through the alphabet at this point. And that's been going really well. We have continued to do the extra worksheets from the course, as well as I have the Letter of the Week curriculum and actually the K4, K5, I can't remember what that one's called, from Confessions of a Homeschooler. And I think I've said this before, but I've had that download for years, since my oldest was 3 and he's now 7. So he never used any of those things. So we've actually been able to use these sorts of things, all these downloads with my daughter. So, you know, we learn a new letter Right now we're in unit 4 in the preschool course, which is letters M, N, O, and P. So I have all of the sheets for that. And, you know, it's like there's letter sorting, there's some counting, there's some tracing. And letter sorting, I mean like uppercase and lowercase. There's some number things up through 10, patterns, you know, so like this one, cut out the M&Ms, and they're supposed to recreate this pattern. And there's another one with the other colors. There's tracing, there's patterns, writing, you know, so it actually is really repetitive. It really just the designs change. Like the patterns don't get any harder. They're just every other with each letter, but they just change the theme with each letter. P for pumpkin, M&Ms for the letter M. And the kids don't know. She doesn't know. She doesn't know that she's doing the same thing each time she does a letter. But I'm going, oh man, I'd be so bored tracing the same thing like every couple of days. But she doesn't even know. She doesn't care. It's fine. So yeah, that's been working really well with her. So we break up the lessons in the course book with those extra sheets as well as the extra practice sheets. We do it all. We do it all. And she's been doing really well with that. And then we are like so close to wrapping this up. There's only like a couple of letters. There's like less than 10 pages at the end. So we're gonna finish this up really soon, and then I'm gonna print out part 2 for her to do for the rest of the year. So that's where we're at with her individual subjects. As far as group subjects go, geography is going swimmingly. We have started Antarctica. We finished up, we started with Australia. We've done North and South America. Antarctica works out perfectly for our snowy weather right now that we have had, and you know, it's winter, so snow. So we're doing that right now, and that's going well. For science, we have started Wind and Waves from The Good and the Beautiful. I don't know how far we're in. We're on lesson 6. We didn't do any of our regular group subjects in December. I think I mentioned that in my Advent video, but we had a really relaxed December in which we did no geography and no science. We just did the Advent activities that I had planned and the individual subjects. So this we had taken a break from, and so now we're back at it. We finished Sparks and Stars at Halloween. I thought it was going to take us more through Thanksgiving, but we finished it at Halloween, and so we're not very far in this because we only did a couple in November, and then we just started back this week, the week of the 13th. So, but this should take us through the end of the year, and if not, I do have Fields and Flowers. And they just released Bones and Stones, which looks so good. So I will be getting that one during their early bird sale. So whichever one we want to do next, I think this will take us basically through the end of the year. And I don't know if we'll start another one or not. We'll just kind of have to see what my kids want to do. So yeah, that's the plan with science at least. But whatever, if we don't start a new one at the end of this year, we'll probably do 2 next year. And I know the 5th and final Little Hearts and Hands is going to be released this summer. So we'll have 3 to pick from for next year. Geography, science. The other thing that we have been doing is we're back into our regular catechism and Bible stuff. We took a break from what we were doing to do all of our Advent things, but now we are back. And one of the things that I want to do, one of my goals is that I really want to finish this mass unit that we have been doing. This one right here, From Into the Deep. It's so well done, and it was my fault. I tried to do too many things because we didn't start doing it at the very beginning of the year. We started it maybe in September, and I just added it in along with all the other little Bible books that we've been doing. And I should have maybe focused more on doing it, because honestly, we should have been done by now. But we were only doing it once a week. Sometimes we'd skip a week. And so I am going to make this more of a focus, and I want to get it done before Lent. Lent starts, I think it's March 5th. I looked it up the other day, because Easter's kind of late this year. It's towards the end of April, so I think March 5th is right, Ash Wednesday. But anyway, my goal, and I sort of like thumbed through what we had to go through still, how many kind of lessons there were. They're not really broken up by lessons, but it's like sections. And some of them I've had to break up because some of the sections are so long. But regardless, we are about halfway, and as long as we do it twice a week, which that's my goal, we will finish before Lent starts so that we can focus on other things for Lent, because I have other things planned for that time of year. And then I'm gonna slow down on these other two that we have been doing, the catechism and the Bible stories. These are great, and we didn't do them through December. But I'm probably gonna put this one down and like just do the Bible stories on the other days. These are short. These ones don't invite as much conversation as the catechism certainly does, but we're doing so much discussion with the Mass unit. I don't want to be overwhelming. That was one of the things that I realized partway through the fall, was that my kids are little, and for some reason I was sort of expecting them to have like a grasp, especially on all of our Catholic things specifically. I really wanted them to understand certain things, and just the realization that like we're going to continue to learn about these things over and over, just like we are with any of our other subjects. I don't expect them to have a full grasp on some of the science stuff that we're learning, or the geography. It's just an introduction. And when we redo this unit in a few years, my oldest is going to have he's going to learn different things the next time we go through it. So it's sort of a little bit of like, I needed to relax about what they were getting out of it, and they are still learning so much. So don't think that your littles can't do that. That's perfect for, certainly any sacraments that they will be getting at any point. But sort of my expectation of what was being retained or not, I had to calm down about it. Okay, so I have a few things that I want to add in to our homeschool for the rest of the year. And I know we already kind of have a full plate, I think, but there are a couple of extra things that I realized that I needed or wanted to add in. So I'm going to be testing out how that actually works in our homeschool the rest of the year. And they're kind of like extracurriculars, you could say. One of them is fitness. And not my favorite kind of fitness, which is fitness pizza in my mouth. Has anybody seen that? Is it a meme? I think it's a meme of this like dog with like the smile, and he's, I don't know, got like a piece of pizza in front of him, and then the words fitness pizza in my mouth. It's my favorite kind of fitness. And I'm not really worried about my kids actually being active or anything. I know a lot of people do sports or whatever, but just to be moving intentionally is something that I want to make sure we're doing. And I have found some different channels and things, and there's ones that I have always like subscribed to and used when I want to work out. And so if you have never thought about doing some sort of fitness with your kids, that doesn't have to be very long either, I would maybe recommend it, because it never occurred to me that like my kids didn't know how to do jumping jacks or something, and watching that try to happen it is like a little entertaining to watch them try to figure things out. But just learning how to like stretch a certain way or move or do push-ups. Like it never occurred to me that like my kids didn't know how to do those things, but they don't, because I haven't taught them that. So I would recommend some sort of, I mean, I don't want to do fitness testing like when I was in school running the mile every year. That was like the worst sort of torture I can imagine. And you know, the push-ups and all the sit-ups you had to do, I'm not worried about that, but just like doing different motions. I mean, just watching them try to figure it out, and also teaching them the correct way to do it so they don't hurt themselves. You know, your knees need to be certain, like a little bent sometimes, or your back needs to be a certain way. Anyway, so fitness is not it's not gonna be a priority, but it's something that I'm going to add in. I'm gonna try to do it a couple times a week, and it does not, like I said, I don't think it's going to be a very long thing, like 10-15 minutes tops, and so far we have been doing that since the start of the new year, and it's been going so far so good. They've been enjoying it. We do it all together, so I do it with them, and it's my workout that I have neglected for I don't know, since I had my daughter. So like, she's almost 5, so fitness comes and goes, I think, with moms when you have littles and postpartum and all those things. So it's also for me, but it's also for them. And then the other thing that I want to add in, because it's so near and dear to my heart, is we're going to be adding in some music. Now, now I know you're thinking like, wow, Sam, you have such a musical background. Music's not a part of your homeschool day. It's not in an official capacity, okay? So we listen to a lot of music, different types of music. There's certainly, you know, stuff with mass, and I play piano a lot, all the time. Again, different songs on that as well, not just classical piano, but pop songs and Star Wars and just all the things. But I do want to actually teach them some things, some like reading rhythms. That's, I think, going to be the focus for the rest of the year, is learning how to read rhythms and reading music, and like just in general. And then we'll see where it goes from there. But as far as the rest of 2025, this part of the school year goes, yeah, I'm going to focus on teaching them how to read rhythms, like some call and response, that sort of thing. Maybe that doesn't make any sense to some people, but for me, I'm like, yes, we could do that. That's like Music Ed 101, is reading rhythms and the call and response thing. So that is one of the things that we will be doing for the rest of this school year. So that was a lot of stuff, and I hope you are still here for it. Anyway, if there are any videos that you might want to see in 2025, I have sort of mapped out the next couple of months of things that I might want to do. But if you have any recommendations, suggestions, questions, things like that, make sure you leave them down below. Thanks for sticking around with me. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe and join this corner of the YouTube community here on my channel. And yeah, let me know how you guys have been doing. If you have left your Christmas lights up till January, you can let me know that as well down in the comments. Anyway, I will see you guys all in the next video real soon. Bye.